Children, let us understand the next lesson, Language of Chemistry, Unit 5. It's in page number 71. The first part of this lesson is symbols of different elements. Elements are the pure substances, and what is a symbol? Symbols are a shorthand representation of the lengthy name of an element. For example, aluminium is a name of an element. And what is the symbol of aluminium? Al. So instead of writing the whole spelling of aluminium, we can represent that name in a symbol, that is Al. So in another way, what is a symbol? A symbol may also be defined as an abbreviation used for the name of an element. Instead of writing the whole spelling of the name of the element, we can write the symbol. So who has introduced this? The person who introduced symbol is Berzelius. So, how he started it, how he represented the element in a symbol. So, there are some steps to follow. The first one is some elements are represented by the first letter of their names, and first letter of the name of an element written in the capital letter. For example, carbon. The first letter of carbon is C. The symbol of carbon is capital C. So the first letter is written in capital letter. Like that, hydrogen, H, oxygen, O. And if there are two elements' names are begin with the same letter, like calcium and carbon, and two different elements, but the first letter of both the elements begin with letter C. So how do you identify it? So the other thing to do is carbon, they have given the symbol carbon, capital C. So the next element what they have discovered, they have given the symbol Ca. So the first letter C is written in capital, and the second letter is along with any other significant letter. So calcium, they have taken A. So Ca. C will be the capital letter, A will be the small letter, Ca. So when you write a symbol, you should keep it in your mind. When you read the symbol, you should understand it. First, if you are using only the first letter, it should be capital letter. If you are using more than the first letter, then the second letter should be in a small letter. So there are some examples of elements and its symbols are given in page number 71. It is must for you to learn the name of the element and along with the symbol. So whatever is mentioned in your book, try to by heart it without fail. Don't neglect it. All the names of the elements which are given in the lesson, you will learn and by heart the symbol. And there are some names of elements are based on Latin names. So such names, they have given the symbol on that name only. So the symbols of some elements derived from Latin names, you should by heart it. There are 10 mentioned in your book. All the 10 you will learn. Otherwise it will be very difficult for you to go further in this subject. Like sodium, it is an English name, but the name is derived. They have given the name in the beginning in Latin names, that is natrium. So we will not write the symbol of sodium as S. It should be Na, because the name natrium is given to sodium. So the symbol is Na, like that. Lead, plumbum. So you cannot give L as the symbol as it is in English name lead, but in Latin name it is plumbum. So you have to give Pb because the already phosphorus and P is given for other element, so they have taken the other letter, that is Pb, plumbum. So these are the way we write the symbol of the specific elements. So all the two tables, table number 5.1 and 5.2, you will by heart it, and it is very, very necessary for your further studies. Now, what are the significance of symbol? It tells us the name of the element. So when I say Au, it is aurum, and the name of the element is gold. So Au, when you write, you are talking about gold, and it represents one atom of the element. So when we are writing Na, we are talking about only one atom of element sodium. It represents the atomic mass of an element also. So atomic mass, Na means it is atomic mass of one element, Na. For example, H stands for one atom of hydrogen element. Atomic mass of H is 1.008. When we write, we are talking about the atomic mass also, not the atomic number. It is the atomic mass. Now, the second point is valency. Already we have learned what is valence shell and what is valency. The same thing we are learning it here also. Valency is the combining capacity of an atom or any radicals. So the valency of an element or a radical is defined as the number of atoms of hydrogen or chlorine, or double the number of oxygen atoms which combine with the one atom of it. So valency is always a whole number. This you should know. It is a whole number. So ammonia, when we say the ammonia contains nitrogen and hydrogen. One atom of nitrogen combines with 3 atoms of hydrogen to form ammonia. So the valency of nitrogen is 3. And in common salt, the name of the common salt is sodium chloride, that is NaCl. So one atom of chlorine combined with one atom of sodium. So the valency of sodium is 1. In magnesium oxide, MgO, one atom of magnesium combines with one atom of oxygen. So the valency of magnesium is 2. So one atom of oxygen is O2. So valency of oxygen is 2. A radical is an atom or a group of atoms. So they have given some of the 20 elements, its valency and its symbol. And this is the basic thing you should understand and by heart it. This you will have it till class 10th. Same thing. If you fail to learn this year, or if you fail to by heart or understand these 3 tables, it is very difficult for you to follow chemistry subject. So keep it in your mind. Table number 5.1, 5.2 and 5.3 you will by heart it. And what are variable valency? As we have learnt, valency is combining capacity of an element. Here some element will have different valency. So how do you name it? Now in metals, when a metal shows lower valency, then we use OUS. Higher valency, we use IC. I'll give an example. Copper has 2 different valencies, number 1 and 2. When it is copper with 1 valency, we will name it as cuprous. And the same copper, when it carries the valency of 2, then we call it cupric. So we cannot say all the 1 valency will be OUS, all the 2 valency will be IC. No. It depends on the lower and the higher valency of the metal. Now again the other example I give you, ferrum, that is iron carries 2 different valencies. One is 2 and other is 3. When iron carries 2 valencies, we say it OUS, ferrous. And the same iron carries 3 valencies, we say it ferric. The same manner with the other variable valencies. So lower the metal valency, we name it along with the element OUS, and higher valency IC. This you should learn. And the elements of radicals having valency 1 is called mono or univalent. If an element carries 2 valency, then it is bivalent or divalent. If it carries 3, then trivalent. For example, sodium is 1 valency, mono. Calcium carries 2 valency, bivalent or divalent. Like ferric carries 3 valency or aluminum carries 3 valency, that is trivalent. Now, the third part of the lesson is radicals. What are called radicals? The molecules of an organic compound such as acids, bases and salts are made up of 2 or more electrically charged particles, and they are called radicals. For example, silver nitrate, it's a salt. Silver carries Ag 1 positive and nitrate NO3 1 negative. So NO3 is the radicals. The atoms of group of atoms having charge are called ions. The positively charges cations, the negatively charges anion. And silver ion positive is a cation, and nitrate ion is a negative and it is an anion. Like that, sodium chloride also, magnesium oxide and potassium hydroxide, all these things carries. So here you should remember anions are also called acidic radicals and cations are also called basic radicals. What are basic radicals? Any ions which carry positive charge, then it is called basic radicals, and any ions which carries negative charge, then it is acidic radicals. So some of the examples of cations and anions are given with the symbols and the name. Again, this also you have to by heart it. All these things are learning part, and it's like a language. If you do not know how to write A, B, C, D alphabets and how to write the words, and you cannot read. So language of chemistry need the basic learning of all these things which are mentioned in the first part of the lesson. And in the second part of the lesson, we will learn chemical formula in the next class.